Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Lord, upon all your houses. Hey, Lord, will this be a quick little edifying lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua. I do want to get into this article real quick, man, and then I'll grab some precepts, man, and then we'll ultimately get out of here. Like I said, Lord will, it's quick, straight to point, and edifying as well. This video is going to be called everything. What you see right here in this title, it says America is running out of everything. So it's going to be called America's everything shortage, man. It says right here, it says, is it just me, or does it feel like America is running out of everything? And really, that's, this is a very accurate observation, man, because when you go to, stores, you like your local Walgreens and your Albertsons or Fred Meyers or, your dollar stores and stuff like that, you're starting to see less and less products on the shelves, man, It says right here, I visited CVS last week to pick up some at-home Crown Vic Royale tests. They'd been sold out for a week, and an employee told me. So I asked about paper towels. It says we're out of those too. He said try Walgreens. I drove to a Walgreens that had paper towels, but when I asked the pharmacist to fill some very common prescriptions, he told me that the store had run out. Tried the Target up the road, he suggested. Target's pharmacy had the meds, but its front area was alarmingly barren, like the canned food section of a grocery store an hour before a hurricane makes landfall. So she's pretty much, explaining how she went to multiple different stores, and a lot of their, their food supply, medical supplies, hey, they're all out, man. She's listing, more than just one thing, more than just food. It's medical supplies as well, right? It says this is the economy now. 1 hour errands are now multi-hour odysseys. Next day, deliveries are becoming day after next deliveries. It's like the next day deliveries are becoming day after next deliveries. That car part you need, it'll take an extra week. Sorry, the book you were looking for, come back in November. The baby crib you bought, make it December. Eyeing a new home improvement job that requires several construction workers, pray for 2022, right? Basically, explaining that things, that could get that could be done, right here and now. Hey, man, these small things are taking longer. Why? Because one, there's a supply shortage. Again, not just of food, but really everything, man. Food, consumer goods, man. Like even electronics, man. Medical supplies. All these things are in shortage now. And again, with the shortage of workers, without these people to ultimately stock the shelves of what these stores have in the back, it looks like there's nothing, man. And really these places don't have anything, man. And it's gonna go in more detail of that, right? It says the U.S. economy isn't yet experiencing a downturn akin to the 1970s period of stagflation. This is something different, This is something different and quite strange. Americans are settling into a new phase of the scamdemic economy in which the GDP is growing, but we're also suffering from a dearth of a shocking array of things. Test kits, car parts, semiconductors, ships, shipping containers, workers. This is the everything shortage, and that's absolutely true. I went to go try and get a couple parts for my car, and Pep Boys, all the Pep Boys here in Arizona, they have absolutely no retail car parts, man. They have everything for, their shops that they have, but they don't have any that anybody can buy, you know. So yeah, this is an everything shortage, man. Car parts. There's not enough shipping containers ultimately dropping off, their loads in order to go back and pick up more, which again, this article goes into a lot of this, man. This touching on that everything shortage that's going on right now, which we know to get worse, man. Those are in the know, those are in this truth. Hey, we know it's going to get a lot worse than this, man. It says the everything shortage is not the result of one big bottleneck in, say, Vietnamese factories or the American trucking industry. We are running low on supplies of all kinds due to a veritable hydra of bottlenecks. It says the Crown Vic Royale scamdemic has snarled global supply chains in several ways. The scamdemic checks sent hundreds of billions of dollars to cabin-fevered Americans during a fallow period in the service sector. A lot of that cash has flowed to hard goods, especially home goods such as furniture, home improvement materials. Many of these materials have to be imported from or travel through East Asia, but that region is dealing with the DV, which has been considerably more deadly than the previous iterations of the Cyrus. The D has caused several shutdowns at semiconductor factories across Asia, just as demand for cars and electronics has started to pick up, right? Because people are using these stimmies, and getting new cars and stuff like that, man. Which they're starting to there's a shortage of these chips, a shortage of these chips. People are starting to buy cars. So if they're and so these factories that ultimately make the cars, they need to put these chips in the cars. If they don't have these chips, then they can't make no more cars. So there's a lot of cars, that are not making it to the lot. So these car lots are ultimately looking a little empty as well, man. It says, as results, these stop along the supply chain are slowing down at the very moment when Americans are demanding that they work in overdrive again. So people are trying to get things done, and people are trying to work, but if there's nothing to sell, or there's then there isn't any work, man. It says the most dramatic expression of the snarl is the purgatory of loaded cargo containers stacked on ships bobbing off the coast of Los Angeles and Long Beach, which is now over 60, maybe even over 70, of these cargo ships waiting off the coast of California, man. Which they can neither unload in order to return to get more, because again, the shortage of truckers, the shortage of these forklifts to remove, or these lifts to remove these containers off of these ships, and then put them on these trucks, so that way they can take them to these stores, which again, all this whole scamdemic is by design, man, by these damn elites, because this is what they want. Order out of chaos, man. It says right here, just as a normal traffic jam consists of too many drivers trying to use too few lanes, the traffic jam at California ports has been exacerbated by extravagant consumer demand slamming into a shortage of trucks, and port workers. And really that's, because people are getting fired because they don't want to take the jab, man. People don't want to take this jab, man. Because one, you can see, what happens to people that take the jab, man. They either get really sick or they die, man. So it's, it makes sense why people wouldn't want to take this jab, but they're making it a requirement, which again is, an unrighteous decree. They're making this a requirement for people to take something, and really, they don't really care, about, if it helps your community or helps keep you healthy or whatever it is. It's all about compliance, man. This is their new world order, and they want people to comply with it, It says, because ships can't unload can't be unloaded. Not enough empty containers are in transit to carry all the stuff that consumers are trying to buy. So the world is getting a lesson in economy 101. High demand plus limited supply equals prices spiraling to the moon, and we're seeing that. Gas prices here in Arizona, where I stay at, went up 30 cents. In the last week and a half, right? It says spiraling to the moon. Before the scamdemic, reserving a container that holds roughly 35,000 books cost $2,500. Now it costs $25,000, which is $1,000 increase, or 1,000% increase, man. It says the container situation is even weirder than it looks, with demand surging in the United States. Shipping a parcel from Shanghai to Los Angeles is currently 6 times more expensive than shipping one from LA to Shanghai. JP Morgan's Mitchell Kembalis wrote that this has created strong incentives for container owners to ship containers to China, even if they are mostly empty, to expedite the packing and shipping of freights in Shanghai to travel east. But when containers leave Los Angeles and Long Beach empty, American-made goods that were supposed to be sent across the Pacific Ocean end up sitting around in rail cars packed at West Coast ports. Since the packed rail cars can't unload their goods, they can't go back and collect more stuff from filled warehouses in the American interior. Right. So, hey, ultimately, this is trickling all the way down, man. These people that are buying these containers, to ultimately import goods. Hey, they're shipping these containers, as the article says, shipping these containers empty all the way to China, so that way they can ship it from China full of goods here, because it's cheaper. They're trying to save money, and in the act of them doing that, hey, it's preventing, the continuous flow of, goods being traded, man. Which again, this is designed by the elites. Why would these people not want to sit here? They have millions and millions and millions of dollars, man. Why would you not ship that stuff there and ship it back, man? That would keep the economy flowing, keep everything going the way it needs to be, man. It's because the elites have a plan, and these are the puppets that these people that buy these containers. They're the puppets of the elites, man. They do what they're told, man. So of course, this is again all by design, because they could very well, spend a little bit of cash sending it that way and receiving some in, because guess what? They're still getting a profit no matter what, man. They're just greedy, man. I think I'll read this next next paragraph, and then we'll just hit some scriptures, man. It says, what about the truckers who are needed to drive materials between warehouses, ports, stores, and houses? They're dealing with a multi-dimensional shortage too. Supply chain woes have backed up orders for parts such as resin for roof caps and vinyls for seats, but there are also a crucial lack of people to actually drive the rigs. The Minnesota Trucking Association estimates that the country has a shortage of about 60,000 drivers due to long-time recruitment issues, early retirements, and the Crown Vic Royale canceled driving school classes. So there's we're talking about huge shortage of drivers, man. And it's crazy because there's a driver right now, which is one of many drivers, That's crazy. The Most High, we're talking about truckers, and we see a trucker passing by, man, and that's one, Oh, I haven't seen too many trucks today, man, and I work around construction, man. People, even my job, man, is not receiving any of the things that they should, man. My boss ordered a shipment, of some material the beginning of this week, and it's not gonna arrive till the end of the week, man. When he said he would, he put it in for like the next day, because we need it, man. Otherwise we're gonna sit around twiddling our thumbs, man. you know? So there's a shortage of supply and shortage of workers, man. You know, and that's really what it is, man. You know? Which again, just aids in this famine that is coming, man. This shortage of food and shortage of water, man. You know? So let me grab this. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Let me find that scripture, man. I'll start at verse 3. Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. The grinders cease because they are few. We seen this in the beginning of the scamdemic, man. You know, when everybody stopped working, man, there was no work, man. You didn't see barely anybody on the streets, man. Everybody was at home, man. You know, because of that shutdown that had happened, man. You know, only the so-called essential workers were allowed out, man. You know, it says, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. When the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Right? And again, this is what we're starting to see, man. We're starting to see this shortage of supplies, man. You know, we're starting to see, you know, the shortage of workers, man. You know, that grinding that is low, man. You know, because of the shortage of supplies, man. You know, and more layoffs are gonna happen, man. More and more people are ultimately gonna lose their jobs, man. You know, because of the shortage of consumer goods, man. You know, because there's nothing, you know, there's not much to transport. There's not much to, there's not, you're not going to need all these people, because then you're going to be paying people to stand there, man. Which then that's losing money for these big companies, man. You know, these big companies, they're trying to save money in this scamdemic just like everybody else is, man. You know? So again, a lot of people are ultimately going to lose their jobs. You know, and it's gonna get worse, man. Which eventually, these people are going to, you know, just up and riot, man. You know, people are literally going to just up and riot, and it's gonna be bad, man, because they don't have no work, they can't pay no bills, they're gonna be kicked out of their houses because they can't pay their bills. You know, it's gonna be basically a shit show, man. You know, this is what America is coming to, man. You know, let me grab this, because again, those people are going to riot. Second Esdras, chapter 15. Let me see. I'll just start at verse 14. Second Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right, man. You know, people are gonna get fed up with this. You know, people are not gonna know what to do. Hey, you know, I got family. You know, I got bills I gotta pay. You know, I can't just not go to work. You know, I can't just not have a job. America can't just not have any supplies. You know, you're already starting to see some people starting to, you know, go and rob these stores openly, man. In the Bronx in New York, you got people just walking in these CVS's and Walgreens and so on and so forth, just taking shit, man. You know, crime is gonna shoot up out of the roof, man. You know. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So, you know, with all this crime going on, these people rioting and stuff like that, hey, the military is gonna have to come in. You know, the local police force ain't gonna do enough, because again, these people are even quitting, man. Your local police force, your local firefighters, you know, your local ambulance, you know, your healthcare workers, hey, they're all starting to quit, man. You know, so hey, guess who's gonna come in, man? Because again, even you know, you even got the military members quitting, man. So who is America gonna bring in to ultimately establish order? It's gonna be the UN. The UN, the United Nations, is ultimately going to set foot on here, man. It's going to set foot in America, which has never happened before, you know? And they're going to come to establish order in America because shit is about to get haywire, man. You know? It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. This is going into Jacob's trouble, man. Men shall be afraid, right? It's going to be a crazy time, a time like we've never seen before, man. It's going to be complete and utter chaos, man. You know? And this is why you need to turn to the law, statute, members of Yahweh Shem El Shai. Turn to Yahweh Shem El Shai and seek him while he may be found, man. You know? Because in these times, those that are only going to be delivered, those that are only going to be fed, you know, like it says in Isaiah 65, starting at the 13th verse, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. So when all these, you know, this famine of water, famine of food, and chaos starts to hit, and only those that turn to the law, statute, members of Yahweh Shem El Shai, you know, and serve Yahweh Shem El Shai in truth and in sincerity, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, they're the only ones that are going to be protected, man. They're the only ones that are going to eat and drink, man, and be, you know, fed and kept alive. Everybody else is going to be fucking just done with, man. You know. and that's Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, man. At the same time, you know, you're gonna have Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, coming down, having great wrath, trying to force his MARK of the beast, man, the RFID chip, man. You know, so it's gonna be a crazy time, man. It's gonna be complete and utter chaos. You know, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right, man? So again, this is talking about in the time of Jacob's trouble, there's going to be a shortage of food, a shortage of water, man. Which again, we're starting to see the onset of that, you know, with the shortage of employees, you know, the grinding being low, the shortage of supplies, you know. This is really an everything shortage, man. A shortage of employees, a shortage of supplies, shortage of everything, man. You know, this is something that we have to keep our eyes on, man. This is something that, you know, as watchmen, you know, really those that are in the faith, man, you know, you have to really be watching and paying attention, you know. That's why it says redeeming the time, for the times are evil, and these are definitely evil times, man. You know, these are definitely troubling times, you know, hard times, you know. So you should really be watching, man, you know, paying attention, seeing what's going on, you know, and spiritually preparing, man, you know. You know, and you know, it's okay to, you know, have a little bug out bag, man, you know, but as long as you know that thing is not going to save you, man, you know. Prepare, you know, just in case shit pops off, man, you know. Have a little, you know, little bag of, you know, little extra stuff, man, non-perishables or whatever, man, you know, just in case, man, shit really pops off bad, man, and at a time which you're not aware, which it's coming soon, man, you know. So prepare, man, like it says in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, I think it's the 17th verse, it says, he that fear, matter of fact, let me get it, and we'll end on that. Sirach, the 2nd chapter, the 17th verse, it says, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, right, man? So you got to prepare yourself, man, you know. You got to prepare your mind, you know. You got to be prepared physically, you know. This is what you got to do, man, you know. And this is why the prophets are out here warning the people, man. You know, we're warning you to prepare for what's come, man, you know. But yeah, man, that's all I really got, man. I just wanted to get on that article, man, real quick. Lord willing, was edifying. My phone's almost dead. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem El Shai, Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Shem El Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. May the election Yahweh Shem El Shai, Lord willing, for all night houses. I want to say Kwame Shalom and about Shalom.